Even people far from martial arts have heard of the famous trilogy, Gatti vs. Ward. At the beginning of the 21st century, when their battles were booming, fighters of a much higher level performed in the professional ring. What is the secret to the success of Gatti and Ward? And how did it happen that their fights became a global asset? This question is not as simple as it seems at first glance. There are several highlights to the popularity of Micky and Arturo. Before proceeding to their presentation, let's rewind. Go back to the beginning of the 21st century and remember with what baggage these two approached their famous trilogy. It is important because there we shall find part of the answer to our question. Let's put aside our emotions and look pragmatically at the dry numbers and statistics. Gatti was a fairly famous fighter. He performed very well in the category of the second featherweight division and owned the IBF championship title and boxed against rivals of a good level. He defeated Tracy Harris Patterson, the adopted son of the famous Floyd Patterson, Wilson Rodriguez, and Gabriel Ruelas. Victories were not easy. In the second fight with Patterson, at the end of the first round, Arturo was knocked out, but the referee considered the blow to the liver area to be a low attack, thereby allowing Gatti to recover, return to the battle, seize the initiative, and win by the decision of the judges. In the battles with Rodriguez and Ruelas, Arturo was repeatedly shocked, but relied on his strength of character, which earned the love of the American public for his manifestations of courage. An important point, the battles came one after another. Arturo showed his character several times in a row. Managers and organizers of the battles remembered him. Fighters of such style as Gatti are not able to dominate the division for a long period of time, as their health will not allow it. But they are able to do shows and attract the attention of the public. And where there are shows and spectators, there is money. The Canadian did have problems with his weight. He was forced to climb into the light division, and then even higher, where the miracles came to an end. He lost to the average fighters of the lightweight division, Angel Manfredi and Ivan Robinson, repeatedly changed his coaching staff, spoke intermittently, and was defeated by Oscar De La Hoya. And returned with a quality victory over former champion Taron Millett. With this baggage, Arturo approached the duel with Micky Ward. Gatti hoped to get the title fight in the welterweight division. He received it, but the saga stretched as much as 3 fights and shocked the whole of America. And what about Ward? Micky, unlike his opponent, spent his entire career in one division, the first welterweight. There weren't enough stars from the sky. He ended his career, he returned. He was always near the title, and once even went out to battle for the title of world champion. Ward lost to the owner of the IBF belt, Vince Phillips. The fight was stopped in the 3rd round due to a strong cut in the Irish. Micky lost to really top athletes, but confidently defeated fighters from the top 30. Before the fight with Arturo, he threw a Fight of the Year with Emmanuel Augustus, and controversially lost to Jesse James Leja in the battle for the right to fight the absolute world champion, Kostya Tszyu. Kostya did not bother overprotecting his belts, and the WBC and WBA had to be left vacant. The winner of the Gatti-Ward battle was to become a mandatory contender for the vacated WBC title. So, we come to the most important thing. Neither Ward nor Gatti claimed the laurels of the leader of the first welterweight division. However, given what kind of fights both had experienced prior to this meeting, the audience was entitled to expect a spectacle. Their expectations were fully met. Boxer styles made this fight interesting. The organizers of the boxing evening, represented by Main Events, took this fact into account and did not fail. This is the case when the soldiers found each other. The second factor, also in 2002 when the first 2 fights of Micky and Arturo took place, Fights were not wealthy events in the world of professional boxing. This was the transitional time between the end of the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s. It was a period of short-term stagnation, and against the background of all of this, the vivid battle of two fighters not claiming to be the best of the best became a cherry on the cake for the American public, who were yearning for a brutal slaughter.
With as strong a fighter as Ward before.
And body shot again. That's the body shot. It's the left hook to the body. Ward's money punch, and this knockdown. He's still hurting from the body punch, also strong. In addition to the head. Pounds away.
In the past,
this of him and lands another big shot.
Burton did Ward punch himself out for the time being.
You know, you dream of something you can dream of. Just imagine if you bought a ticket. Stop it, Frank. You can stop it any time. Arturo
seems to have taken some
and he's taking
fresh air from it.
And he's winning his fight now.
I am humbled by watching these two guys. This is the way it has to end.
A fight straight out of the 1950s. A throwback to the golden era of the ring. By majority decision, Irish Micky Ward.
It's not surprising that after the first fight, where Ward won, immediate revenge followed. It is necessary to discard all unnecessary notions of honor and other nonsense from Micky. These things were actively cultivated in the media and are good only for the movies and bright promotion of confrontations. The Irishman was driven solely by the material aspect. For the second fight against Arturo, he was promised a fee 3 times the amount that he could get for a possible title fight with Gianluca Branco. Ward fought 2 fights in a row and was clearly not going to stop. The second fight turned out to be very difficult for Micky. For the first time, he managed to drag Gatti into his net, masterfully fed him with blows to the hull, and knocked him down in the legendary 9th round.
That's did out in the latter rounds in the first fight. That's both insurance that both fighters will be
To throw a lot of energy sapping
using the other weapons in his arsenal.
The second time, Arturo acted tactically, more competently. In round 3, he sent his opponent to the floor. The blow damaged Micky's eardrum, which was actively mentioned in the media after the fight to promote the third fight. According to statistics, on average, more than 500 fighters sustain such injuries each year, and many continue to perform without going to the doctor.
Now he lands the left hook to the liver. As human beings, a fight to the finish. Arturo showing some rare defensive. Shakes his head and comes right back for 4 or 5 rounds. Good.
which is why he's here now.
Hey, Arturo.
This is round 9, the second version.
If this fight is closer on the official scorecards than on Harold's, I mentioned, and he's still got the energy to fire off combinations like that, we'll see what happens in the last minute and a half of the round. That's what he's better do. Make it. Oh, my Lord. Crowd on its feet.
Gatti looked better than Ward, but broke his arm in the middle of the fight. This moment allowed Micky to level the situation. Nevertheless, he succumbed to a judicial decision.
All for the winner by unanimous decision. Looks like we go to a third bout, ladies and gentlemen. The winner is Arturo Gatti.
The third match was not long in coming. Was it for honor, dignity, revenge, or the desire to prove something? No. Everything is much more commonplace. For the third fight with Arturo, Micky received more than all previous fights of the year combined, $3 million. He honestly fulfilled his obligations and fought his third battle of the year, thereby repeating the achievements of Rocky Marciano, Carmen Basilio, and Rocky Graziano, and, with a calm soul, ended his career.
Ward's back in it now. Back in it in a big way. One hand. 5 straight left hooks. 7 left hooks. He mixed in 1 right hand.
Abandon of the left.
No, he's not really turning all of the power all the way.
Micky Ward lands a solid straight right. Gatti with a huge left hook.
He landed the right hand to the head and hurt his right hand again.
Oh, on a wide swinging right hand. The bell sounded and round 6 has come to a close.
In this series, the fighter who has knocked the other one down has won each fight.
They're standing and trading shots at the center of the ring. This is very good for Ward. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Dan, this is close again. 57-56, 4 rounds to 2. Arturo Thunder Gatti. Jim, I gotta tell you, the extra point in round 6 just made this.
Micky Ward
Left
done
hook,
by a left hook.
Left hook.
Can Gatti follow?
The great toughness and resilience of these two fighters. Qualities that are every bit as rare as great boxing ability.
Micky Ward, the older fighter, can't catch him. Arturo Gatti dominating with his effective aggressiveness and his clean punching.
And he has rebuilt his career and rebuilt himself as a fighter. That after the adversity, they rise again in Boardwalk Hall. They're done.
As you can see, if we discard unnecessary emotions about the great confrontation and other nonsense, everything is quite transparent and plain. The styles of the fighters made the fight spectacular, and the managers and the athletes themselves sold the audience a beautiful picture of friendship after a fierce battle.
All for the winner by unanimous decision, Arturo Gatti.
Did either of you suspect that this fight would be as intense as the first fight between you?
Larry, like I said before the fight meeting, I know what type of man Micky Ward is, and I knew he was coming in tonight to fight his best fight of his life. And if it would have been anybody else, they would have quit. And Micky Ward hurt me in the fourth round. I hurt my hand in the third round, but Micky Ward is unbelievable. He's got a heart. And for someone that wants to retire, he fought a hell of a fight.
Photos from the hospital and smiles with bloodied lips only added to the surroundings. And most importantly, both received fabulous fees. They knew what they were fighting for. These are two fighters from the rating who were at the right time and in the right place, in the crossroads of an era, and gave the public what they wanted. At the same time, they received decent fees, far exceeding the average salaries of fighters of their level. The beautiful picture after the battle finally struck the American spectator, who was longing for such slaughter, finally. After all, even an inexperienced boxing enthusiast is absolutely clear that such fights are dangerous to the health. Boxing, as Ray Leonard correctly noted in one of his interviews, is art. The art is not only to strike, but also to defend oneself during the battle. You can demonstrate quality fights without subjecting yourself to a beating. Micky and Arturo did not have the necessary skills and the adequate level of boxing. A combination of many circumstances made their fights mega popular. This has nothing to do with high-level boxing and art. This is a performance of two fighters from the top 5 of the first welterweight division who beat each other to the joy of the crowd and received an invitation to repeat this twice for a good material reward. It was just business and not about honor. So what was it? The achievement of boxing history or a simple set of circumstances? The question is rhetorical. Ward and Gatti went down in boxing history. Now you know why this happened. Two worthy fighters squeezed the maximum out of each other, both literally and figuratively, and earned good money and fame. They maintained friendly relations. This was also a marketing ploy. When Micky retired and began to train Arturo, nothing good came of this. But the guys again made good money on hype and media attention. Our world is a material one. A view from the perspective of finance is more productive, as otherwise no one would ever be so easily subjected to a beating in the ring. Most individuals value their lives too much.